Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there, welcome back.
Absolutely. So, guys, please do subscribe all three channels. Make sure you got the little bell clicked. Haha, bell. We're going to have some fun with bells today. And, this is going to be going up on Hearts Home, and this will be under the meditations part. And we'll also probably put it, I guess we could put it under this one too. We could double up because we want to do as much as we can in these times to help people with healing. So the liver is a very, very important, it's one of the most important organs in the body. Absolutely. The liver is fascinating because it has an amazing potential to heal itself when given the right circumstances.
It does. It can do anything. I mean, the liver is like miraculous. It's an amazing organ, but it also holds a lot of anger. I mean, literal anger. And that starts when we are very, very little, and say somebody took our favorite toy, and boy, we are just angry as can be. And if we don't express that thoroughly and completely, if we are cut short from throwing our fit, that anger will go and stay and hide in your liver. So that starts at a very young age, and that's from parents, adults, stopping that fit that we need to throw and process, because it's not just a fit, it's processing, and to the best of our ability at a very young age.
Yeah, we are emotional beings, and this is part of what gets missed basically in allopathic medicine. There's more and more of a understanding now the emotional component of disease. And yeah, the liver is all about anger. This is where it burns. This is where it blisters. This is where it toxifies.
And I gotta say, a lot of people that we work on when we're doing one-on-ones and we really hone in on certain things, we are going to be working on the liver today, but I gotta tell you guys, if you want to finish through, there is such a thing called a cleansing crisis, because so many times we diffuse that energy that is all wound up in the liver, and by diffusing I mean we let it go, and it literally has to leave the body in a very 3D way. So you end up going on, it could be a purge, it might last a couple hours, it might last a couple days, but then your liver has finally released all of the anger, grief, worry, stress, fear, and that's a very physical thing here on the 3D realm for your liver.
And what we are intending to do right now is to awaken and give people tools to utilize themselves. How do emotions harm your body? Absolutely. The anger that you feel can, and over time, absolutely, if we don't release it, it'll weaken the liver. Grief settles into the lungs, and boy, I remember that when I first went to my naturopath. I went to my naturopath because I had, acquired Lyme disease, had tick on my tricep, saw it, the doctor took it off, tested it. Yep, it's Lyme positive. You're Lyme positive, But when I went and saw my naturopath and it was manifesting in my lungs, she said, "You're grieving." And I said, "I'm what?" It never even hit me. I had no clue about that point. Here I was just thinking like the traditional person that's grown up in Western medicine, that, well, I got Lyme's. What do I do now? Obviously I want to boost my immune system. I want to detoxify. I understand those things. What would you recommend? But one of the first things that she said was, you are grieving because of where it was manifesting. Worry weakens the stomach. Stress, which we're all under, weakens the heart, and brain. Fear weakens the kidneys, and a lot of people with low back pain, it's fear-related. It can be fear-related. Instability, it's not a very stable world at this time, so we have to find our own stability.
Right, and all of these are things that we are going to work on individually, but today we are going to work on the liver. So if you guys are looking for a way to boost your immune system, to release some anger, to do some things for yourself that are very much needed and change the course, the way things are going, stay tuned. We're going to do some energy work and sound healing here.
Exactly. And we're just going to kind of give you guys, again, some new tools to utilize that you could practice on your own. And you see your anger, according to traditional Chinese medicine theory, it's related to the liver and wood element. The wood element is all about growth and expansive movement. The liver directs this internally, both physically and emotionally. Anger is the natural response to any interruption in the liver's mission to move and grow. At the same time, an excess of anger or repressed anger inhibits the liver's function, leading to further emotional imbalance and feelings of frustration, resentment, aggression, and depression. Imbalance in the liver system manifests physically with headaches, waking up between 1 and 3 a.m., tension in the neck and shoulders. Anger can injure the body when it's vented excessively or repressed. But the value of anger is that it gets our attention when things are out of balance in our body and our world. Protesting, speaking out against injustice. Boy, we have a lot of that going, don't we? And demanding actions are all signs of the liver doing its job in response to anger. Anger drives us forward and compels us to change and grow as individuals and as a collective. So here you see a little point that they are pointing to in their feet between the big toe and the next biggest toe. And again, these are meridian points too. So when I was working on people in person, I would actually put my fingertips, on these points, and I would run energy basically from one end of the meridian to the other, to the organ itself. And that was just a common part in my practice. We could still visualize this, absolutely. And this is what we do at distance work, because we typically work on 20 to 30 people a week with distance energy work, which is really, it's all energy work. We could use different labels. You could call it Qigong, you could call it Reiki, we could call it quantum touch, and many different other labels. But when it comes down to it, it's all about understanding certain systems of the body, like the meridian system, and understanding intentions as well as frequencies. Now, again, colors are frequencies. And you can see the background is green, the green grass, and it looks like cloves or clover, something in the background there. That's the color you want to be thinking about when you're working on the liver, is that vibrant green. So here you see, there are lots of books on reflexology, and you could basically hit every single organ by basically manipulating either your feet in certain spots, your hands, or even your ears. The body is, again, it's that as above, so below fractal reality that we have around us, where the whole is contained in, again, it's the microcosm within the macrocosm, and this goes on forever. This is just the way that the whole universe is put together.
Mm-hmm. Since I was a really small child, I had this awkward thought, and I always knew that the human body was miraculous, that it could do things that were absolutely amazing. And that thought kind of stayed with me all my life, and understanding, going through all the things that I went through. And I just knew somewhere deep inside that the body can heal itself. We can heal each other. And this is the information, although it might take a little while for things to really turn a corner. If you are not feeling well, if you want to make changes, it's how we actually allow things to heal at the most important base level, instead of putting just a band-aid over it. No, we actually heal it at its root source. And say, if you're 35 and you're having these problems with your liver, know that it started at a very young age. So give yourself several years for this energy that we're doing, and time, plenty of time for it to really take hold. And the beauty of that is you're healing. You're completely healing from the core, not just slapping a Band-Aid, which really causes a lot more trouble.
So you can simply depress this point right between, again, if you could see right here, right between the two toes, right here at the base there. Or you could take it a step beyond, and you could actually visualize yourself drawing energy in. You could either do it the traditional pranic healing way, in which you would have your left palm, if you are right-handed, right hand dominant, facing towards the earth. Inhale in, draw in the life force through the left palm. And then as you exhale through the right fingertip and send that energy, that life force, into the meridian there. And visualize it again. It's always safe to visualize as a crystalline white color and green, like a vibrant green, like you see that color of that grass. And the green, again, is the color to utilize on the liver as well. So that can quell excess fire, so the liver can do its job. Again, it's all about balance. This is what traditional Chinese medicine is based on. And it's fascinating, too, because now in China, TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, is so much under fire again. And the Western way of doing things is what's promoted now. And it has been for quite a while. As, again, we, to quote Rammstein, we're all living in America with a K. Pretty soon we're all, living under CCP rule, so to speak. If at this point in time, we are going to turn the tide. But here we can utilize ancient knowledge that, again, is under attack, of course. There's no control in this. Where is their profits in somebody visualizing a color? There's no profits to be had there. Releasing anger, there's no profits, there's no control. No, that's why they won't tell you just how powerful this is. So the liver and the gallbladder are wood elements as far as these organs, and they do govern eye, tendon, anger, spring, wind, calling sound, green, sour, the east, and then that's your active time, 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. So you can love your liver with Chinese medicine. This gets into some of the things that, what does the liver do? Well, it does store blood. And again, our blood is under attack in so many ways. There are so many people coming up with abnormal thyroid numbers, abnormal white blood cell counts, abnormal red blood cell counts. There are so many women that have abnormal cycles now. There's too many frequencies out there of an unnatural origin that are really battering our bodies. We can do an awful lot by just focusing our intention. Focus your intention. It's increasing in power exponentially, simply because of the times that we're in. We're leaving the Kali Yuga, and this is why everything is going on. It's responsible for the smooth flow of Qi, of the life force itself. So key to process this. Let go the anger. We have to let go the anger. Poor liver function can be caused by drugs, alcohol, toxins, smoking, infections, food allergies, inflammation, leaky gut, low thyroid function, poor breathing, diaphragm not being fully engaged, and massaging the liver. So proper breathing, again, when you, gosh, I've done this so many times to people in person. I'd say, show me a big deep breath. What do they do every time? Yeah, the shoulders hunch up, it heads towards their ears, their chest expands outwards, their belly doesn't do a damn thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of people, you can say, look at a baby. Babies breathe with purpose, and they breathe in such a way that is so natural because they haven't been tainted. They're not under stress. But yes, that belly deliberately goes up and it goes down. And the pore breathing also is very, very good for you. That's something that can really energize and strengthen your entire energy body, energy field.
And again, stress. We are all under stress. This is affecting our liver, and we have building anger. We see it with people in the streets now. They're starting to vent their anger, but again, it's something that we need to get a hold of. And this is again the value in what we call Buddhist detachment. Let it go. You just let it in. Let it go. Let it go. We have to let go so much in this world, guys. Now you can support your liver with certain foods. You see, cruciferous vegetables we were talking about. Oh, we're going to do a lot of talking about cabbage. Mm-hmm. Yeah, cabbage. Oh boy, there's a lot about cabbage, guys. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about Cabbage Patch. Yeah, beets, turmeric, avocados. Yeah, I buy them by like the dozen. Dark leafy greens, carrots, apples, garlic, green tea, walnuts, grapefruit, olive oil, cabbage, broccoli, as well. And you could throw cauliflower into that mix. This is all stuff we eat every single day pretty much. As we truly do base, I'd say 90% of our diet really is veggies, fruits, and the other 10% really, for the most part, coming from organic grains. But you have to listen to your body. There's going to be times when you need certain things, and you may need to supplement with certain omegas, and fatty fish oils can help with certain things as well. Again, it's a matter of listen to what your body's telling you. But most definitely, green smoothies are really a great way to start the day. They really, really are, and especially utilizing, again, organic celery as the base of that. Adding in things like spirulina, chlorella, barley, wheatgrass, all these things can help boost it. You could add ginseng in. We could add in, obviously, turmeric into this. We could add ginger into this. We could add maca. We can add camu camu. We could add lucuma. We can go on and pick out another couple dozen things you can put into your smoothies to get you started in the right direction. This is the color we want to visualize when we're working on the liver and cleansing it. And so, whatever techniques, if you've learned any sort of energy healing, again, I'm a Reiki master teacher, but I've studied medical Qigong, studied pranic healing, quantum touch, many other things as well, Cindy as well. This is kind of like how we started, was long distance teaching. And then I realized, oh my God, there's so much this woman can teach me.
Yikes. I don't know about that.
Oh, no, absolutely. So while the hands are being held over the liver, if you want to, you could use just your dominant hand. If you're right-handed, that would be your right hand. If you're left-handed, you could use your left hand. Or you could use both hands. Now, I'm always, whenever I'm sending energy to somebody, I'm always visualizing it coming in from the earth, going through my foot chakras with each inhale, and it's at the same time coming down from the cosmos, from the universe itself, through my crown chakra. And every single breath I take, I always feel that energy. Every single breath I take, every day, all day, I feel the life force coming into me. And that's purposeful wake breathing, which is so powerful, especially for building what we would call our Wei Qi field. Your Wei Qi field is your shields. When Scotty says, the shields are up, Captain, I'm giving them all I got. Well, that's your Wei Qi field. And your Wei Qi field, when it's strong, the pathogens won't get to you. They really won't get to you. This is what is so key, and this is not what they'll teach you in allopathic medicine, that it's building up this life force around you that protects you. In fact, Mantak Chia, who has done, he arguably more work than anyone. There's some others out there that have done great jobs, as this is Mantak Chia. And you could see he's visualizing himself drawing in the life force from the cosmos. It's coming in from the earth below. It's coming in from all around. And you see all the organs are smiling and happy. And the liver is green and happy. Visualize that. See that cute little green face? Yeah. Visualize that while we are doing this. But he has done a wonderful job. He's probably written 30 books. I bet you he's written more than 30 books. And he's now probably in his 80s. But man, I remember, studying under his wisdom. Gosh, it's been 40 years. This is just, it's so simple. All we really have to do is visualize an intent, but don't underestimate the power. Please don't underestimate the power of that.
Oh, no. This is information that once we get through this, you're going to be unfolding for a while. Your body is going to be reorganizing itself. Especially we are really focusing on the liver. So this can take a while. And the one thing that you need with this type of healing is patience. Allow things to unfold in your life and allow things to come to you and show you, okay, what needs work. And you will find it, and you do that. And if you're ready to address it, you address it. But that's what we're going to be working on now. Are we going to start now?
Yeah, we are. What we're going to do first is we're going to ring the tingsas, which are these beautiful symbols that look like UFOs, with Tibetan symbols on them. So we're going to ring these 3 times. Now, there's 2 things I want to give you. First, one thing we can do is simply inhale deeply, nice and deep. Put your hands over your liver, or one hand, your choice. Visualize this crystalline green energy. It's bright, it's shiny, it's vibrant, it's happy energy going into the liver. And if you want to, there's a sound associated with this. And that simply is the sound like when you're going to tell somebody to shh up. So you exhale the whole time doing that shh sound. And squeeze it out too. Squeeze it out. You might want to even move inward like you're doing a little crunch, an abdominal crunch. And that, again, helps the liver. Motion. When we get sedentary, that's not a good thing for the body. And daily motion is always recommended, no matter what it is. When we start Qigong classes, we start it by basically breaking down stagnant energy. So, when I was teaching classes in person, first motion we would do is take our hands, raise them in front of us, come up on our tippy toes, and then come back down, let your feet bounce a little bit, and send your hands down to the ground and a little bit behind your back, and just visualize that you're shooting out of your body any stagnant energy into the earth. And hold that. And we would do that, maybe 10, 12 cycles, maybe a little bit more. Just depended on the mood that day, but at least 10 to 12 cycles. Again, we don't move enough in this society, and that allows the emotions to stay trapped and also the toxins to stay trapped. So again, you could go through a cycle of 10 deep breaths, inhaling all the way in, visualize it, crystalline green energy, and then exhale out. Nice and deep. And feel free to do that, every day. Good 10 times would most definitely help. The other thing that we're going to do is this little, you might call it a mantra, but we could, say that it's just a purposeful statement of intent. Or, you could view it as a mantra. And that statement is, I release all anger, fear, excuses, and guilt completely. You know, this is one of the things that would always set me off, as you probably do know if you've been listening for years, on the whole concept of original sin and all this. The focus on you must repent. Again, if we focus on the negative, and I do understand we do bring up negative news topics over on the other channel, but it's all with the mindset of being prepared, mind, body, and spiritually as well. But if we do focus on all that we're doing wrong, that's going to just stay pent up in our bodies. So we need to let it go, and we need to just move forward. You cannot do anything positive if you're holding on to these negative emotions, whether that is anger, which again is going to impact your liver, whether it's fear, that's going to impact your kidneys and your ability to detox to a very high degree. The anger does that too. Excuses and guilt, again, woulda, coulda, shoulda, that takes us out of the now. We just need to move on, be in the now, be present, be focused, and be the best version of ourselves we can be.
And remember, we're communicating all of this information to ourselves. So it is important to have that smile on your face and make these movements, have these intentions when we're working on releasing all of this pent-up anger.
So what we're going to do now is I'm going to do 3 chimes of the tingstas to clear any negative energy, any negative entities. And that includes, all these parasitic entities that feed off of humanity. Now, if you want to, we could do it together. And what we could do it is just as a simple, very simple abbreviated form of what we would call the LBRP, which is the Lesser Banishing Ritual at the Pentagram. The simplest way to do it, if you feel comfortable with the archangels, you can use the archangels. For instance, saying, imagine yourself facing the east and the rising sun, and visualize yourself, or with your hand, draw a pentagram, which is simply a star. And why do we draw a pentagram? Well, for one, again, what did the star symbolize? It symbolizes the elements. So when we look back at the traditional Chinese medicine theory, it's again symbolizing the elements, which we need to be in balance. So what we're going to do is we're going to banish away anything that's negative. And so you draw from the lower left up to the top center, come down to the lower right, come over to the left, what would be midline, and this is also representing the person, and then over to the right, and then back down to the original starting point. So you make a star with your hand, visualizing it the whole time, and you could see that if you want to. It's traditionally visualized as a silvery blue color of the life force itself. Visualize that going in front of you and push it so it goes flying into the east, clearing away with it any little nasties, any sort of astral parasites, anything that would promote imbalance or latch onto you in a parasitic nature. And you could say Raphael, or you could say before me Raphael. And then go to the south, do the same thing again. Now again, the microcosm and the macrocosm, yes, it is symbolizing the elements. It's also symbolizing you, because, the star, again, that's also the shape of man. If we think, again, to Da Vinci, right? And the Vitruvian man, the 2 legs spread out, the arms held out wide. The head is the point in the middle. This is the symbolizing of spirit at the top, with the 4 elements below it, governed by spirit. Of course, when you inverse that, then you get a more negative sign, putting the matter over the spirit. So we would visualize doing the same thing in the south, and you could say before me, Michael, or Archangel Michael, and then go to the west and do the same sign again. Again, starting lower left, coming up to the head in the middle, down to lower right, over to the left shoulder, over to the right shoulder, back to the starting point, and then say, before me, Gabriel, or before me, Archangel Gabriel. And then finish up going to the north, doing it again, and saying, before me, Uriel, or Archangel Uriel. And then come back to the east. And this could all be done mentally, just sitting where you are. And putting that intent out, seeing those pentagrams go flying out into all directions, clearing away all the little nasties, is very effective because source is in you. You can do that. You have a right to exert influence over the elements because, again, source, the true source of all, is within you. So you have a right to exert your will.
Mm-hmm. Right. So I think now at this point we're going to do the 3 chimes.
And now Cindy is going to use the tuning fork to put the livers in sync.
And we both work together, so you guys are probably going to feel some very powerful energies moving through. It's a very powerful, very balanced energy when we work together. So this is strong. Focus on your liver. Think happy thoughts. We're going to diffuse all of that anger and ask it to leave.
And then we could finish with an Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And that's just invoking peace.
Indeed.
So I hope this helps you guys. Replay it as often as you need. Come to just the end here and go ahead and play that section over and over. If you feel you need to, come back to it on a daily basis. Again, you might have a little bit of a purge. So again, when the liver releases, it could look like, urgency to go to the bathroom is really the most common thing.
Indeed.
As always, we appreciate your support on Ko-Fi and Patreon. Much love. God bless and namaste.
Namaste.